What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Welcome to the RNEWS morning show. And let's just jump into it. From r/politics, Trump threatens to leave the country if he loses to Biden. That's such a fun way to say, flee to avoid criminal prosecution. In classic Trump fashion though, he just demonstrated enough flight risk to be denied bail. Not only is he a flight risk, but because of his security clearance, just like every president before him, he is a risk to national security if he were to fall into the wrong hands. The idea of him fleeing to another country while both being subject to litigation and owing substantial amounts to gods know who, there is no way in the world they will let him leave. It would take him leading a group of agents into a trap in a foreign country to get away with what he's going to be held accountable for. I half expect him to be charged with crimes against humanity by the time they're done with him. History will not be kind to him. To be fair, I doubt he will remember anything relevant that he hasn't already told to Russia. Can you imagine trying to get state secrets out of the president? He'd end up rambling half-remembered briefings only to go on a tangent about a tabloid story he heard. What are you talking about? He's the best rememberer who ever remembered anything. Person, woman, man, camera, TV, remember. Just can picture someone walking around the White House mid-December, going, "Has anyone seen the president?" Finally they just shrug and forget about it. Funny thing is they just cancelled a planned comedy series with David Oyelowo called The President is Missing. Instead, we should get a game called Where in the World is Former President Trump? Hit it, Rockapella. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, it's official, Biden beats Trump in town hall television ratings. Oh, this is gonna burn Donnie's butt. Not as much as losing the election will. 3.2.1. Rigged Democrat Nielsen hates me. Our conservative is saying that same thing, but completely serious. There was millions of uncounted viewers, fraud I say. Probably a bunch of illegal aliens watching from California. America is not as lame as Trump made it seem. Americans are not as stupid as Donald and Vladimir would like you to think. The top 5 largest protests in American history all happened during this administration. Early voting is 70 times higher this time than last time. 70x. Get ready for a landslide election. But be sure to join in and add your name to the multitude in America saying, "Enough." Quote. Wow, did not expect this, but in retrospect I think everyone is just so tired of it all and ready for 4 years of boring Joe Biden. I certainly am. I want precedented times. Wish granted. Since 2020 has now set a precedent. Things will continue as they currently are. Monkeys for curl. About 56% to 43%, lining up with the popular vote. Trump must be enraged. He'll claim ratings were fake. Fake views. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/news. Open carried firearms banned in Michigan polling places. Isn't voting usually done in schools and gov buildings that wouldn't allow guns anyway? Guns aren't banned in those places in Michigan in all situations. It's a very odd setup. That's interesting. Interesting is one word for it, I suppose. I'll admit having a guaranteed day off of school for election day was kind of nice. But I would trade that for sane gun laws any day. Even in Texas we don't allow you to carry in schools or in hospitals. Open carry is so frickin' dumb to me. I'm pro-gun. I have a CCL. But open carrying is basically making yourself a target for anyone who does plan on committing the crime. I always get the small dick energy vibe when someone open carries. Gotta make yourself feel big, edit. A lot of y'all are getting caught up in the small dick bit and think I mean literally a micro penis. No, I mean they are a scared B-word who wants to feel big. People also think I mean open carry across the board when I'm really just referring to inappropriate times. You don't need to open carry when going to a restaurant or some crap. I see people all the time open carrying with their firearm obviously sticking out of their pocket or waistband. No holster, super easy to grab from behind if a nefarious person wanted to surprise them. I live in Arizona. It's arguably the most lax state on gun control in the US. Ironically, guns at polling places is illegal here. Person shrugging. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, Schwarzenegger, California Republicans off the rails with fake ballot boxes. So, arrest them. Why is this so freaking hard? Just have the government contract out some PPL to extract those fake boxes from their locations and hold them for ransom, and arrest the people when they come to collect. If they're illegal in the first place, can an average person get in trouble for removing them? Probably because we're just peons. But the greater risk is that they're being placed in more Republican areas in order to literally create the illusion they've been projecting about voter fraud. So do you want to be seen trying to steal a ballot box in front of a gun store? For example, they say Democrats perfected that approach during the 2018 midterm elections, in which they left the GOP with only 7 of California's 53 congressional seats. Pro-whataboutism move. Yeah, Democrats won a lot in some fair elections. Therefore the GOP is basically forced to cheat. This is simple logic. I am very smart Republican. This is about as good an argument as Ben Shapiro's climate change isn't a big deal, because if your house is underwater, you can just sell it and move. I see a pattern here. It's almost as if the GOP are wrong about everything and cannot muster a good argument to save their life. How the hell aren't the FBI not raiding these criminals? It's their damn job to arrest these type of people. Well, they are under Akbar, so there's that. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/World News. Man decapitated near Paris, an anti-terror probe launched, prosecutors say. Imagine taking a life because of a drawing. People disgust me. When ideas are more important than lives, you've not been educated correctly. Let's be real, dude. When certain ideas become more important than lives. Haven't heard of a vegan-motivated decapitation recently? Big problems with the ideology of radical Islam coexisting in freedom of expression, endorsing Western European societies. And this crap is never going to stop. I don't understand why people who hate Western values live in Western countries. Food, shelter, lack of war, jobs, neighbors won't steal your house, food, why? Clean air, water, public transportation, free to believe whatever you want. Free to believe whatever you want. Evidently not a value this individual believed in. Money. Also safety. Only for them, it seems, in this case. Everyone in the comments keeps saying it was a parent of one of the kids, but the story says the killer was an 18-year-old. I think we should follow Texas' lead. They had a Draw Muhammad contest and shot the terrorists when they showed up. They set up a honeypot. The police do it, why not the public? You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/World News. Mexican Senate will vote to federally legalize cannabis in the next 2 weeks, leader says. I wonder, do cartels like this or dislike this? Perhaps they will turn into legitimate corporations. That's an interesting move. They absolutely do not like this. They either have to keep prices low to keep the black market preferable, or pay taxes. Neither of which they want to do. Edit. Many people pointed out that cartels have multiple sources of income that are more profitable. B. Paying for laundering and bribing is similar to taxation. C. The cartels likely have their hand in this somehow, or likely true in some capacity. I don't know, I'm no geologist. But if they have the infrastructure to legalize their operations, and accept that they will have to pay taxes, their potential market just got much larger. These guys decapitate people like it's getting a haircut. It'll be a while before they become moderates. Gonna need a wall to keep all the free weed out of the US. Rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. I don't know, man. US weed is pretty freaking good right now. They've been smuggling the good chronic into Mexico for years. The Mexican middle class loves American weed. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like. And if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show, and I'll see you tomorrow.